Hey guys, it's Brandy and Liz, and we're back with New Release Wednesday for the week of August 9th. So much going on, as always. So let's just kind of give them a breakdown of what we're going to talk about this week, yeah?
Yeah, well, I mean, right off the presses, this just hit just a few minutes ago, we saw was, looks like Disney is doing a little backtracking on this Netflix thing, or is it? We'll get more into depth on that.
The Disney magic. We want to talk to you about the newest installment of the Telltale video games, Batman Season 2 is out. Rob's been playing it for a little bit, so he's going to let you know all the ins, outs, ups, downs, and fancy fun times on that one.
You got it.
Yeah. And, of course, we're going to bring you our top picks, as always. And then as a little
buffet of things that we
Casty
like to talk
news,
about.
Casty news,
Yeah.
Deadpool.
Yeah, we got
Teen
Deadpool,
Titans.
the new Hellboy reboot, which I'm already a little like, what about? But
Judge Dredd.
Is it really the judge or the actor?
Okay, so it's Carl Urban.
Okay. That's what
We'll get into more of that later.
Alright, so we got a lot to talk about, guys.
Yeah.
So stay tuned, keep watching.
Alright, so it dropped today, Tuesday. Telltale Season 2 of their Batman story. Telltale's been doing the comic game for a long time. You got Jeff Smith's Bone, you got Sam and Twitch. They took Bill Willingham's Fables and wrote an intro story to it, which I ended up enjoying more than Fable itself, The Wolf Among Us. And Volume 2 of that has been announced, and that's coming out here pretty soon. And that's exciting as hell. That's a game that I can take people that don't play video games and bring them into it. And the way that Telltale, and get them hyped on the game, the way that Telltale tell their stories, it's episodic. It's 5 to 6 episodes per season, per game. They come out every 4, 6, 8 weeks kind of thing, and you have this wholly immersive story, and the gameplay changes based on your decisions. Now, sometimes this pisses me off. They did some outstanding Walking Dead series, the first volume of which, beautiful. The second volume, I wanted to rip my king hair out, and I haven't touched the season 3 because of how that ended. Game of Thrones, very much so in the spirit of Game of Thrones, which is, eat shit, you know nothing, everybody, no matter how you do it, you're going to fail. Their Batman one, similar to their Wolf Among Us, however, very rewarding story. And they, while they're using the continuity that we all know to Batman, they also step away from it in a little bit and let stuff change. You'll never look at Thomas Wayne the same way from this. They build on Arkham City Rocksteady's Penguin having a Cockney accent, and they make him a complete asshole, but it's a completely different take on Penguin in episode 1. Harvey Dent, you have the ability in the first season to change what happens to Harvey, as we all know and recognize. The relationship with Catwoman, who do you want to value more? Solomon Grundy is different in the run, and a completely brand new character. I don't even want to say her name, but it ties into Arkham, and you'll never look at characters the exact same way. A bunch of twists that you can't anticipate, and they're well done. So season 2 dropped today. This is Tuesday the 8th. We're for the 9th of August. Go play Volume 1. Go play Season 1 before you pick up Season 2. Season 2 stars the Riddler, and in this world they're setting him up as he's been doing this for 20 years. He disappeared down at Santa Prisca Prison, which if you've been paying attention to your Batman mythos, you know that's where Bane is from, and I'm hoping and praying that we see Bane before the end of this season. He's voiced by Robin Atkins Dowes. Any of you that are familiar with the Metal Gear Solid lore know him as the same guy who voiced Kazuhira Miller. It's phenomenal. He's a perfect fit for Riddler, and the graphics have improved, and the gameplay has improved, and this is a much more addictive Batman than the first season, which is saying something, because I enjoyed it. Arkham Knight was a letdown. I'm very happy with where Telltale Season 1 went. So we got the trailer here for you. We're going to edit it up, put in Season 2. Go play Season 1. Go buy it cheap. Go visit a friend. Go do that, but then it's worth the time to pay for Season 2. Go pick that up. You're going to enjoy it.
And now we're going to show you why. Check it out.
Work with me, Eli.
You still don't get it? There's nothing you can do, Batman. Please, please. Anything you want.
Give him up, and I'll make that danger go away.
No. I can't. You've seen his machines. You're completely insane.
No?
I am death.
Riddler terrorized this city long before you were Batman. To have him returned, it's unsettling.
He used to leave clues at all his crime scenes. Always thought he was smarter than the people trying to catch him.
Game on!
You should have called us before going in, Gordon.
Waller?
This city is about to find itself in a crisis the likes of which it's never known.
They're criminally insane. You're drawn to them, aren't you?
I told you I'd see you again, didn't I? I need that favor you owe me.
We all wear masks.
Gotham's criminals have become zealots and thugs in cheap suits. Everyone's very impressed with you. I'm not impressed.
I want to commemorate the moment. Smile.
Alright everyone, so these are my top 3 picks. I'm going to start off with what I think is the most adorable like front cover that I saw was Mega Princess. So Mega Princess 1 is by Kelly Thompson, and what it's basically there's a princess, Maxine, and her fairy godmother comes down and she gives her like all the power of all the princesses, which is like grace and blah blah blah, all the crap that, you know, Princess Maxine doesn't want. So she wants to be a detective. So one of the cool things though is that she gets to be able to talk to animals. So she has this pony which looks so cute on the cover, and the art is just, I just love the art. So she can now know what her pony is thinking, and I am such kind of a like little dork when it comes to little things like My Little Pony. I grew up in the 80s, like My Little Pony, man, I love that stuff. So when you have like a little princess who's talking to a pony, you just already got me. And that the artist is Brienne Drohard. So she kind of makes it look very My Little Pony, very I don't know, it just looks really happy. Like I go through, like I read the preview and I just think that just the art form just makes you feel like joy. So I'm recommending, I'm picking that up myself, Mega Princess, so I think that's great. My next pick I'm going to say is Baby Teeth, number 3. So this is really something I was surprised that I kind of missed out on. So Baby Teeth is, I love horror, I love scary. So Baby Teeth is by Donnie Katz, which is basically the 16-year-old, I feel a dark presence. There's a disturbance in the force.
It's my baby teeth.
Her baby teeth. Isn't Baby Teeth awesome?
I'm so looking forward to it. Sorry guys.
Okay. She likes Baby Teeth too. So this is the third one that's coming out, and what kind of shocks me is I missed the first 2, so I had to go back and look at them. So there's this girl, and her name is Sadie Ritter, and she's a 16-year-old, and was 9 months pregnant with basically the Antichrist, and it's really creepy. Like the art is just like, it's chilling, and that's what drew me to it. I'm like, what is this awesomeness? So we got assassins coming in, baby laser eyes, all of this like absolutely sadistic stuff going on, and people are trying to kill the Antichrist, which is of course a normal like situation for people to do. So I'm really looking forward to reading the 3rd volume and really diving into the series. So if you're looking for something a little scary, it's very edgy art, I definitely check out Baby Teeth. So my last pick will be what everyone knows, I'm a Star Wars nut, and one of my favorite things that came out was what I consider like the DLC of Star Wars, Rogue One. It's kind of like that little sub-level that we got a little more of the story about how they got the Death Star. Well, now we get in a comic book that is about Cassian and K2SO. So K2SO was probably my favorite part of the film, because you had a smart-ass robot who legit gave 0 fucks about Cassian and everyone around him, and he didn't hide that at all. I loved his snarky personality, and this new special that they're doing is Star Wars Rogue One, Cassian and K2SO Special Edition. Very long name. You can say that 5 times fast. I will not. Basically, it's how they first met during the Galactic Civil War and how they kind of had their first personalities together. And I'm really looking, I really want to see how, they got together and how K2 kind of, I want to see if he hit him at all, because he liked to hit Cassian in the movie, and I kind of feel like I just need a few art panels of that, of K2 getting a little revenge. So Cassian's kind of an asshole, but that's beside the point. So those are my 3 picks, guys, and I have a feeling that Brandy may be liking baby teeth. All right, everyone. So you've been seeing on the news how Disney is pulling we want our own Netflix, which is everyone's doing this. So what you're seeing in a lot of these articles is like people saying, well, Disney's pulling out and they're taking everything with them. But I have the article here from Walt Disney Company.
Not true quite.
Yeah, it's really not. So it's talking more about like...
Hi, Rob.
Hi, Patrick. I had a high five.
We didn't get no.
Not about you.
We didn't get no love.
Not about you right now.
This is
Feel
about,
a spiritual
about
high
Disney.
five.
It's about Disney now.
it's all about Disney.
Okay, oh my god.
All right, so
They're
back
here,
to our
obviously.
Ladies, you can give us any love.
No,
I just
well,
wanted to
it wasn't
shout my
about
boy out.
you.
Last 2 Marvel movies, Civil War and Doctor Strange, are on Netflix.
They are.
You got Moana, which is on Netflix, and now there's talk that Disney wants their own Netflix equivalent.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So what they're saying on the Disney company was like the new Disney branded service will become the exclusive home in the U.S. for subscription video on demand viewing. Now listen to this: viewing of the newest live action and animated movies from Disney and Pixar, beginning with the 2019 theatrical slate, which includes Toy Story 4, Frozen 2, The New Lion King, blah blah blah. So it kind of pushes like, oh, is all of my Disney stuff gonna leave? It's not,
But no.
not the case.
No, it's not leaving. What they have right now on Netflix sounds like it's going to stay on Netflix. However, once you get into the 2019 season, anything new from there on out is going straight to the Disney streaming service, getting a little bit more of that Disney magic, as Rob likes to call it, spending the money.
30% tax.
So,
And they're also doing an ESPN own streaming app too, so I think a lot of sports people are going to kind of want to jump on that, including myself.
but this just goes back to yet another company
subscription.
wanting to have their own thing. You know, we were really lucky with Netflix and Hulu because it was one of those instances where we could get everything that we wanted to watch all filled into one little spot. And all these companies now, again, are making us go out and buy different subscriptions to everybody else's shit.
How long have y'all had Netflix? Because I have a whole different perspective on this.
We've had Netflix.
Since we got married.
Yeah, so probably about 7 years now.
Okay.
We've had
So if you had Netflix, you know they rotate their material out. So it's always been a thing.
Yeah.
Disney has always had. I was actually quite surprised with the latest releases, like Moana being pushed on there, because Disney has always had their online viewing and capabilities that they also work with Netflix, and they work with everybody.
Sure.
So now they're just exercising a little bit greater control. And what I have Disney Movie Rewards, where I can use the Disney app and watch the Disney films, and they actually have even greater service that I think than Netflix and reaching and getting their material out there, where they work with your cable provider. So like I just bought Moana on digital, the Blu-ray, and I got the digital copy. When I synced it to my Disney Movie Rewards, because they're also getting partnerships with the cable company, if I go onto my cable box, that digital copy that I'm not getting, I get it through there, where I don't have to pay for it there. It's just working in a bunch of different facets, which reaches through your Vudu, if you have a Vudu subscription, if you have a Flixer subscription. Basically how that whole digital copy market, when you buy a Blu-ray, they're kind of controlling all of that. They're getting, another viewing channel through Netflix for better outreach, but at the same time, I don't think they're seeing the money from that. So, there's just exercising different controls. You're going to be able to see that. From a business standpoint,
Disney owns Star Wars and Marvel. We all know this.
Yeah.
So now that we have they're putting Cloak and Dagger. What is it? Cloak and Dagger's on Freeform.
Yeah.
Squirrel Girl's on Freeform. Then you have all the vendors and Netflix. We legitimately can have all these brand new Marvel shows that they can have on a very controlled site of whatever they want to do, where they can spend whatever they want to spend because Disney owns the world.
True.
We've had it made.
Yeah.
And now companies are being wise to what they're putting out and controlling a lot of that. So that's what we're seeing.
And you kind of have to, I guess, because when you're looking at companies now like Netflix, who as of last week was, 20 million in debt?
Oh, 20 billion.
Billion in debt.
It's a B, not an M.
But they're still out there trying. So they might have lost this with Disney, but what they have.
But I wouldn't say they officially lost it yet either. So there's still a weird mix. It's just going to be evolving.
When you're bleeding that much of money, it's eventually going to come and bite you in the ass, basically. Yeah. So Netflix, I believe in them. They've had a good work they've done good.
Right.
But when you're bleeding $20 billion and I don't see them coming up with a fix, at least externally, you have to start wondering if everyone else is seeing something we're not seeing.
So now I'm wondering how they just managed this new deal, because as of yesterday, it has been announced by Marc Millar himself that Netflix has acquired Millar World.
And that's how they're going to evolve, just by getting these great companies.
Well, no.
So, Millar World fans, are you Kingsman, which is getting their new latest film, Secret Service?
More power to them.
Kingsman Secret Service, Superior.
Wanted, there's something about the protagonist of Wanted, last name Gibson, doing what his dad did, just struck me on a personal level.
I wonder why.
Watching that in Iraq every day is exactly the same. It was just like, wow, this movie was written for me. But the movie deviates from the source material. You got Nemesis, which is what happens if Batman was a total C word and it's set in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
Superior, and that was with Steve McNiven, who was his partner on Old Man Logan and Civil War.
So I can see you're a fan. I've been a fan.
Marc Millar does the mic drop where he does something like Civil War and then walks away and lets everybody else shift through those ashes. His Spider-Man wasn't that bad, and his Fantastic Four wasn't as like, haha, have fun dealing with this. And just imagine that in a Scottish accent.
I think Millar is a brilliant writer. He makes great franchise. That's essentially what Millar World is a great franchise builder that he then markets and promotes.
He's
with the film community greatly.
He's been working with Fox.
Yes,
and
his as the comic was dropping.
His advisor, he was the advisor to Fantastic Four. He was the advisor to X-Men. I don't know about X-Men. I know he wrote X-Men and with the Ultimate revamp. He worked with Bendis on.
Yes, he worked on some of them.
He did the Ultimates, which is what the Avengers movie was based off of. He did the Ultimate X-Men line with Tom Rainey. But like, the dude writes comics so that they can be adopted for movies. I don't want to criticize him as a writer. Kick-Ass, he writes issue 1, and he hasn't finished issue 8 before like the movie is halfway.
He does a little bit more than he should at times, but he is planning and working with these series, which I think is great. But at the same time,
I want him to succeed. I do want him to succeed.
Like again, because he does too much. He as a month-by-month comic guy, I would say it's better to consume a lot of his material in graphic novel form if you've read a lot of material, because you really need that next batch of story.
Yeah,
it's not a standalone book. So I'm happy for Marc Millar. I think we all are, if you're a fan of his stuff. But
totally want him to
it'll be interesting in seeing a lot of this stuff adapted now with the Netflix. So I'm kind of excited about it.
If he can do a shared universe with that stuff,
wouldn't that be fun?
That would be interesting.
Pretty cool. Huck, a reimagining of Superman with art by Raphael Albuquerque, and just as earnest as everything that you want to believe Superman to be. I want him to succeed.
So I think we all can agree that like Netflix is killing it, and Disney I think is gonna surprise us with their own. I mean, 2019 we're getting a lot of cool stuff. So
and I would say with your worries, the key to them succeeding is bringing these amazing properties such as the Millar World universe, and maybe what other universe can we see? Can we see?
There's countless.
There's just so much other stuff. See some of those other properties that we want to see translated. If they can get like the Millar Worlds in there, feeling the vibe, that could help out.
I agree.
So let's see how it goes.
Sounds like a plan.
This is Patrick, and these are my picks for August 9th of NRW. First up, I'm a big Spawn guy, and they're putting out a Spawn Vault Edition hardcover, which is going to be the larger format. 11x17 is generally what artists draw on. They're going to do it in that format, so we're seeing basically how the artist drew it. 11x17, big old grandiose issue, hardcover from Image Comics, Todd McFarlane's, the first 7 issues of that groundbreaking series. It's going to be in black and white, so we're going to see it all in its original art glory. Very excited about that. Check that out. Big Valiant guy, as y'all know from the show, with Harbinger Renegade number 6, being written by my buddy Raffer Roberts. And on the artist tour is Juan Jose Rip, who's been quickly becoming one of my favorite artists with his very detailed graphic work on the title. He is putting out, Raffer and Juan are putting out Harbinger Renegade number 6, which is coming out of the Massacre storyline, where we're going to get a new foe in the Valiant universe. And he's promising to be very strong, very powerful. And so I'm excited whenever they bring some new villains into the universe, because we need somebody else besides Toyo Harada. And I think this will be cool and pretty exciting. So for you collectors out there, you may want to check that out because of the new villain, because I know how y'all like the first appearances and stuff. Number one pick, I'm going to devote most of my time to my buddy Tom King, who's killing it on Batman, killing on a lot of titles. I know my buddy Rob behind the camera right now is enjoying all
losing my
work.
mind.
We love Tom King, local Tom. DC hero right now, and killing it with DC Comics.
Waka waka.
He is working with Mitch Gerards on the new Mr. Miracle book that is getting ready to drop today. And so you're going to want to check that out. We're going to see Granny Goodness. We're going to see Big Barda. She's still around. She's still kicking it. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I read a lot of Mr. Miracle
All the previews
stuff.
been Mr. Miracle.
Yeah,
so
but we could possibly see her return.
He couldn't tell the story without her. Maybe initially,
because that's the loving wife. We all have them in our life. Rob has hers. I have mine, and
I have cats.
Liz has her cats, and hopefully we'll find her somebody special. We need to do a Tinder episode with this.
Oh my God,
that would be so much fun. But Mr. Miracle, much love to my man Tom King. He killed it on Vision, killed it on Sheriff of Babylon, killed it on Batman. You're gonna want to read his latest. I'll throw up some images and we'll throw up some other stuff. It's Tom King, DC Comics, my number one pick. Check it out, y'all. All right, guys. Patrick, Rob, we're going to talk about some of the latest film castings going on right now this week. If you've been following Ryan Reynolds on Facebook, he's been posting a lot of cool images. Actually, let me rewind to last week. We got Zazie Beetz. I think I'm saying the name right.
I have no idea.
She's from the show Atlanta, which I love. She is playing Domino. We finally got an image of her as Domino
awesome.
last week, which is awesome. And is it melanoma? Is that skin disease?
Vitiligo?
Vitiligo is how they're kind of doing the whole patch thing with the eye thing, which I think is brilliant. Makes sense.
Good for them. Looking forward to seeing Domino.
That was cool. And now this week we have Josh Brolin? James Brolin.
Josh Brolin.
Thanos,
yes, he's all of those characters.
Okay, so
playing a lot of amazing characters.
Frank Thierry on Facebook is like, I've written Cable before. This is Jimmy Palmiotti jumps in, who wrote Jonah Hex, which is what Josh Brolin first comic character. And he's like, this guy's stand up, and he looks so good.
Yeah, he's
more power to you.
I want a big gun though. I want a bigger gun than the.
He'll have a Layfield overcompensator.
We saw Gamora take the big gun on in Guardians Volume 2 now. I needed something similar to that effect.
I'm curious what behind the scenes Fox and Marvel stuff that they've got going on, because like we had that with Negasonic Teenage Warhead's powers, and who was Star-Lord's dad in Guardians 2? Ego, right? And they were going back and forth, and that was their consulting. The Skrulls. Are going to be in the Captain Marvel. They debuted in Fantastic Four #2. So I'm curious to hear what went behind the scenes with Fox and Marvel for that agreement. And now for this, I just can't.
It's going to be fun. We got a great image today that showed a kid like Deadpool next to Cable, Josh Brolin as Cable. Some cool stuff. You didn't see that?
No, were they spoofing the logo?
I don't know.
Did you see his feet? We don't want to see Cable's feet.
Take that, Layfield.
No.
Shout out to my man Justin Jordan, writer on Shadow Man and a bunch of other great titles he put out. He'll see it 10 times if we don't see the feet.
Does it have anything to do with feet?
I'll walk out of the movie if I see his feet.
There's a special corner of the internet reserved to all this feet talk. It's going to be awesome.
I think there's a lot of love. Ryan Reynolds was a fan of Deadpool before he played Deadpool. Before he got the X-Men Origins part that we want to dismiss from our minds.
Ever.
But it shows all the way through. Very excited
His
about
enthusiasm is contagious AF. Yeah.
Next up in film news, we have Carl Urban. He was Judge Dredd in the Just Dredd title film, and so now
the latest movie.
Yes.
Yeah, he was so bomb.
Carl. You don't remember that?
No, I was like, he was good.
Okay.
It was awesome. That second movie.
You don't remember the Sly Stallone version?
I don't remember the Sly Stallone, but we watched the second one, and I don't know why it didn't get the hype that it deserved, because that's a well done movie.
It was good, but at the same time, I think they compared it to that one Asian movie where they go through the house, and it was very similar. And to me, it kind of ripped off of that. So it was. I would say it was good, but I don't know. But I'm excited. I enjoyed it enough to see a possible TV series that they're planning with Carl Urban as the star.
Judge Dredd's been ongoing for 40 years.
True.
So, like, I
don't think they've truly done Dredge, though, that we know from 40 years.
No.
Dredd, the urban stuff is okay, but I think he's too small for me.
He's a character that even the most...
He's not the heavy metal magazine guy.
He's not too small for me.
I don't know where we're going with that.
I need a Rock type guy though, not the Rock,
but too much of the Rock, for Christ's sake.
To me, Judge Dredd was born out of the '80s, where we have guys like Sly Stallone, we have guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I need a big guy,
but guys that can speak properly.
That is true. Because we did have Stallone as Dredd.
I think they're doing him a great service by making a TV series. Yes. What else have we got?
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Hellboy. I enjoyed the first 2 Hellboy films. Then we also had some cartoon films.
Don't want to reboot.
I don't want to reboot. I don't think they're rebooting it.
Ron Perlman is to Hellboy what Ryan Reynolds is to Deadpool. Like,
True.
It's not just the star, it's the guy advocating for it. It's the guy who goes out on the charity, the Make-A-Wish, and goes through the makeup process again. And they're rebooting it and they're not including
I'll never forget Ron Perlman as the Beast from the Beauty and the Beast TV series. That's how much of a fan I'm back to those days.
I remember that.
Remember those days?
Oh, yeah.
I do not remember that at all.
Oh my God, it was amazing.
Those were awesome.
When I found out that they were going to make a Hellboy, I was like, fucking from the Beauty and the Beast days was like classic. Was such a good TV. You have to watch that. Brandy,
I will make him do these things.
Okay. Like we'll make her watch Rick and Morty.
So
there you go.
Hellboy.
All right.
The news out of Hellboy is possibly Mila Jovovich as the Blood Queen. I'm a big fan of Mila. Yes. She does a lot of great stuff.
Resident Evil.
You see Resident Evil. Okay. So I think she'll be amazing. But
her to succeed.
I'm kind of nervous now from hearing from Brandy and Liz off camera that they're kind of doing this reboot thing.
I didn't want to reboot.
They did not reach out to Ron Perlman. That's it. He found out the same way that we did.
Please bring back Ron Perlman.
Shit is insulting.
Because they don't have Guillermo del Toro.
He has been advocating so hard for that series.
Yes. I can't imagine it without them. So
yeah.
So on the subject of I'm not so happy about the last casting news I want to talk about, because I'm a big Valiant Entertainment fan, Valiant Comics, Harbinger, Bloodshot, Shadow Man.
Yeah.
Jared Leto, who we recently saw as the Joker in the Suicide Squad film, is up for the role of Bloodshot. No. Again, going back to big, beefy
I don't
guys
know Valiant, but now
going out of the 80s.
Immediately that Jared Leto is associated with it, I would assume you don't want the main character.
I think Jared Leto is a fine musician.
And I just can't differentiate.
He's a fine musician. He's a fine actor. I think he's a brilliant actor, actually. But again, Bloodshot was born out of the 90s Image series. Well, it was an Image. It was a Valiant title. But it was born out of that time period where we have the big guys, the beefy guys.
Pouches.
Bloodshot is essentially Arnold Schwarzenegger, a beefy ultimate killing machine.
With pouches?
Built out of nanites. He has nanites in his blood, these tiny robots that infuse him to make him a super soldier.
This is where Hideo Kojima got all of his nanites.
Bloodshot is Valiant's Captain America.
Okay.
And not Jared Leto.
For Jared Leto, though?
Exactly. I think he's a fine actor, fine musician, but no. Dinesh Shamdasani, CEO of Valiant Entertainment. Please, brother, do not cast that guy. I think he's a fine actor. I think he could play any other character within the Valiant universe, but not Bloodshot. No. So,
Leto got down to 120 when he played the cross-dressing whatever, and then
shows the ability to put himself into the role, but not for Bloodshot.
And shaved his unibrow and everything.
There's a ton of great actors that are out there. Please explore the venue. So we'll leave it at that. Thanks, guys.
And then while you're at it, bring Ron Perlman back to be Hellboy, because that would be swell.
Yes.
I'm going to bring him to see Beauty and the Beast with Brandy.
Okay. Hi, guys. So I'm here with my top 3 picks. My first one for you today is Riverdale #5, written by Alberto Aguirre Sacasa, and the art is by Joe Ainsma. So this is taking place in the same universe as the Riverdale show does on CW, which is really kind of cool. If you haven't seen the show, you should. Rob and I kind of binged watched it over a week period of time when we didn't get into it when we first had it air, and so after a while we're like, oh, what do you want to watch? Well, I don't know, what do you watch? You want to check out Riverdale? Yeah, I guess we can. And after about 3 episodes, which is usually what I'll give something, it really hooked us. So we have issue 5 right now, where we have hotshot Reggie, who's decided he wants to take a go at trying to date Josie, but she's not really feeling it, so now he's got to prove that he's worth her time and her effort. It's just definitely a fun series, guys. I would catch up on it if I were you. Episode 5 now, so you got a little bit of backstory to read. My second pick for the day is Newsboys Legion and Boys Commandos Special #1. That's a mouthful. But it is written and art done and cover done all by Howard Chaykin, and it's essentially 2 different groups of Kirby characters. So you've got the Boy Commandos, who have come from overseas. They're following this evil Axis leader spy into New York, and they are immediately greeted as invaders by the newsboys. So kind of envision a comic version of West Side Stories. We're going to get the Jets and the Sharks, and they're going to be fighting, and so now they have to figure out how they're going to be able to work together to, prevail the greater good. It's also part of the Jack Kirby 100th birthday anniversary special stuff. So there's going to be a little a short story at the end of that, but this in and of itself is going to be I think it says novel length, which is really cool because I like having a little bit more story. I like having a bit more rounded out, something to really sink my teeth into. But that is my second pick. And speaking of teeth, oh my god, guys. Okay, so baby teeth, number 3. Liz and I literally had this moment where we looked at each other today when we were discussing baby teeth. We were discussing what our top picks were going to be. She's like, oh my god, have you looked at this thing called baby teeth? I was like, well, that's one of my top picks. And we both just absolutely commiserated over the fact that we had not looked into it until now. So just even looking at the cover, it's this white face, stark white face with these beady black eyes, these little tiny baby teeth, fangs coming in, and blood, and it just honestly looks creepy as shit. And so my thought was, oh, let's see what this is about. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I don't know what I can say that Liz has not already said, but lasers and eyes and blood and chaos and craziness. And honestly, this is one of those creepy, kind of things that you just kind of need to read to believe. So, baby teeth, number 3. I gotta catch up on the first 2. Liz has gotta catch up on the first 2. Ooh, maybe we can Skype date and we can read them together.
Yes!
So,
oh my
now
god,
that I've given you enough of my derpiness for the day, I'll let you go. Check out my picks.
Alright everyone, so that's our show. So we talked about Netflix and Disney. We talked about, oh my gosh, every kind of casting notice possible and the next few things.
And there was a lot of stuff that we wanted to talk about that we haven't talked about, and honestly it's because when you hear the underground rumblings, you're not really quite sure what's fact, what's fiction. And even now, since we just recorded about Disney, there have been so many people posting.
It's like, Disney's taking all the shows, we're not going to see Moana.
I'm like, well, that's not exactly what the Disney article said. So, I don't know. I think what we should end with on today is, guys, just don't believe everything you read immediately. Do your research. Look into stuff. Hear it from the horse's mouth before you start flipping your shit.
On Disney's site. Read, if you don't want to trust the news outlet, and we know there's a lot of news outlets out there that elaborate on things, then let's read the articles from the actual people who are doing this, such as Disney. Why are you standing there and bothering us again?
And as a creative person, I just want to put this out there because this bothers me to no end. If I ever hear, hey, I got a Fire Stick, we can watch it off of my Fire Stick. There's so many, as an actor, as a filmmaker, as creative people, as people that work so hard to give you this content in comic book form, TV form, and film form, to steal it, to pirate it, you're the worst level of scum. I hate you. I hate you.
Well, that was one of the things we all know that the Game of Thrones, HBO did something.
We didn't talk about that.
No, we
thought
didn't.
about that.
Yeah, HBO got hacked.
Y'all are
Apparently
scum.
they're being held hostage. And one of the things I saw a bunch of people on my Facebook page were like, Liz, did you see the episode? I'm like, no, I'm waiting until Sunday. Like everyone else should, because there's too many damn people who work their butts off to get this show done for us. And I'm not going to be a cheathard and go watch it for somebody who hacked like an asshole anyway. Yeah. As an actor, I feel it's disrespectful to all the background, to the crew, to the actors, just to the city and the countries that you're working on. Like different countries you work on, you bring so many hundreds of thousands of jobs, and you're shitting on it because somebody decided to hack.
At least that show.
Because you needed to see it first, so you could post about it on Facebook. Also, people who post spoilers, you are also fucking scum.
I know, you're an asshole. Wait at least 48 hours. I don't know why that's so hard for people, who have, I don't know. But that's a totally different rant, and we're closing out the
Are we ranting?
show. We are
ranting? Why can't I be taller?
Pickle rant!
Why can't you be taller?
Alright, well,
was I not supposed to agree with that?
I know. Let's end this on a good note. Guys, I did a thing. I did a thing.
What'd you do?
I watched Rick and Morty.
Did you see the? Why didn't we talk about this? Pickle Rick and rats. Did you see him gut the rats?
No, I actually had to look away. I'm a bleeding heart, and it doesn't matter if it's in comic form or cartoon form or real life. I don't want to think about animals.
Why didn't we talk about this?
I don't know. I mean, I would rather see any character in Game of Thrones die than to have a dragon like, you fuck with my dragon, you fuck with me. Like, don't. So no, I looked away. I told him, I'm like, please tell me when it's over. And he's like, it's not done yet.
Like, everyone was talking about Drogo on Game of Thrones, and I'm like, did y'all see motherfucking Pickle Rick?
I saw Pickle Rick.
Let's talk about that. Okay.
I have caught up. I have seen Pickle Rick.
If you want to talk about more about anything Rick and Morty, go on our Facebook page.
That sounds very sexual.
It is like, you want to talk about my pickle?
Transforms himself into a pickle.
No. All right.
Because if you had the size,
Thanks, guys.
Wouldn't you want to be
Rant over. Bye, guys.
Rick and Morty.